Winners, losers, and federal prisoners. Total Drama changed the life of every character that stepped into its spotlight. But what would have happened if the show didn't exist? Well, stay tuned because today we're gonna find out. Number 1. Besides her sassy attitude, Lana also has a weakness in helping troubled teens. She used to volunteer 3 times a week at the community center. Apparently, for the troubled teens from there, she was like a big sister. So I guess if the show didn't exist, Lana would have probably become a school counselor and helped different kids through rough periods of their lives. Number 2. Dawn always had a special relationship with animals, and most of us probably thought that she would want to become a biologist or something related to them. Yet this is actually wrong, since before joining Revenge of the Island, Dawn actually mentioned in her bio that 10 years from that moment, she was seeing herself as a historian. Number 3. Most of us already tried to start a small business with a friend in our childhood. Yet, Katie and Sadie actually succeeded in making their own ice cream business before joining the show. Considering how strong their friendship is, I think that if they never participated in the contest, this ice cream business would have just grown bigger and bigger. Fun fact, their best-selling ice cream flavor was called Spamindy Lauper, after the famous singer Cyndi Lauper. Number 4. Lindsay didn't have any plans before joining Total Drama. When she was asked what she would do 10 years from now, her answer was her makeup. So I don't think she's too stressed about her future, but considering her father's wealth, I don't really think she would ever be. Number 5. Although Trent seems to love playing the guitar and got some fame after he sang during the show, being a singer was not actually Trent's initial dream. In his Total Drama bio, Trent said that he wanted to eventually have his own bike shop, where he could build some world-renowned choppers. Apparently, his dad wished he would follow in his footsteps and become an accountant, but according to Trent, that would never happen. Number 6. Duncan is one of the most unpredictable contestants in the series, so he could either mature and become something like a mechanic, as we saw in Reunion, or keep his wild personality and follow his dreams of singing in punk clubs with his band and expanding his skull hood ornament business. These dreams were revealed in his World Tour bio. Number 7. Justin was already a successful model long before he stepped on Campo Wanaqua. I guess he would have just stuck with that anyway. Also in his bio, he mentioned that he wouldn't even have to work if he didn't want to, since people would give him free stuff anyway. Number 8. Before Total Drama, Scott wanted to become a CEO. But I think that after becoming famous for sabotaging his own teammates, no one would want to do business with him anymore. So if the show didn't exist, I think that Scott could have actually had a chance to get into a corporation and work his way up by sabotaging the ones above him. Number 9. Before joining the show, Anne Maria mentioned in her bio that she wanted to make other people look beautiful as a future career, so maybe she would have opened her own beauty salon. Number 10. In her biography, Jo mentioned that her plan was to become a personal trainer. Yet, after Cameron offered her a part of the prize, her plan changed to opening her dream gym. But I guess her life path would have been very similar, since some of the best personal trainers tend to open their own gym anyway. Apparently, Total Drama only sped up the process a little. Number 11. Zoey was always a kind person who wanted to help other people. That fits exactly with one of the jobs you wanted to have before Total Drama, which is being a teacher. Yet, after winning $1 million in her All-Stars ending, I think that Zoey probably changed her mind and would go for her other dream job of becoming a researcher. Number 12. Alejandro is the son of a diplomat, so he already knows what to say and when to say it in order for everyone to like him. On the official World Tour website, when he was asked about his plans 10 years from now, he said that he would gain extra gains by investing the money he would acquire from the show. But even if Total Drama would have never existed, he would have probably just managed his family investments. Number 13. Chef is an ex-military who met Chris during a cooking series, but judging by Chef's cooking skills, without Total Drama, he would have probably gone back to the military eventually. Number 14. During high school, Heather used some dirty methods to become the school president, cheerleader, president of the debate team, and a lot of other things. She also said in her bio that the reason she joined Total Drama was to practice for her long-term goal of ruling Europe. Considering her skills and the fact that she comes from a very rich family, she would have probably started her own show as she did in Total Drama Action Alternative Reality. In the same bonus clip, we can also see other characters like Jeff, Owen, Bridgette, and Gwen starting their own TV show. Number 15. You know how in action, Courtney was constantly using her lawyers? Well, it seems like things didn't stop there, since on the official World Tour website, Courtney said that in 10 years, she would become a Supreme Court judge and sue Total Drama. Even if this answer is related to the show, I think that if the contest didn't exist, she would have chosen to become a lawyer, judge, or something related to the legal system. Even in 6th grade, she was already starting to defend her colleagues who were facing detention. Number 16. The only reason Gwen auditioned for Total Drama was a dare that came from her brother, so she never wanted to become famous. Before the contest, Gwen was putting the majority of her time into art, and she even mentioned in her bio that she wanted to make a career out of it. I think if she had never participated in Total Drama, her art career would have eventually worked out like Total Drama Reunion. Number 17. Before even auditioning for Total Drama Pocket 2 Island, Sky wanted to be an Olympian. During the series, she demonstrated great athletic skills and leadership qualities, so her dream might not be that far from coming true. Number 18. At the end of season 4, Brick said,
"Fashion school, here I come!"
But before he discovered his passion during the series, Brick planned to become a sergeant who would inspire and motivate his platoon. So if the contest would have never taken place, his life would have had a 180-degree change. Number 19. One of Owen's dreams is to live in a cottage with the biggest BBQ in the world, where he could party with all his Total Drama friends. But you can't really do this without some money. So I guess if the show didn't exist, there's a big chance Owen could have just opened his own BBQ restaurant. Number 20. Ezekiel's life got worse with each Total Drama season. So I guess a world in which the contest would have never taken place would be a big win for him. Although Ezekiel had his flaws, he's actually pretty smart, since he knows 8 different languages. I personally wouldn't put him somewhere important like an embassy, since Ezekiel gives me the vibe that he could start World War III. Maybe he would have ended up being a tourist guide or something. Number 21. If you go and check Cameron's bio, you can find out that he was not even allowed to listen to music up until the contest. So if he didn't participate in Total Drama, Cameron would have never stepped out of his comfort zone. For God's sake, in his bio, he says that his wildest dream was going to the park alone. Regardless of his career, he mentioned that one of his dreams would be to become a biologist. But I'm pretty sure you have to step out of your house in order to do that. Number 22. Before she participated in Total Drama, Bridgette had a pretty impressive backstory that involved surfing and doing a bunch of cool stuff, like helping different villages from Peru, or working in a monastery in Nepal. So she already had a purposeful life before Total Drama. My bet is that if the contest didn't take place, Bridgette would have continued her charity work, and probably found another guy along the way. Well, you know who's a real possibility here? Brady. Beth said that he has the same hobbies that Bridgette used to have before Total Drama, like cleaning up after earthquakes and landslides. Sorry, Jeff. Number 23. Priya. If the competition didn't exist, her parents would have probably just let her go to med school, instead of making her earn the right to go there. Well, that's what you call harsh parents. Number 24. Even before Total Drama, Sierra already had a big influence as a blogger. So if the competition would have never existed, she would have just found another reality show to obsess about. Number 25. Chris has gone through a lot of failed projects before becoming Total Drama's host. So my bet is that if the show didn't exist, he would have continued looking for a long time until he found a great job in television. Maybe a co-host in the Celebrity Manhunt. So there it is, guys. What do you think would happen if the show didn't exist? Make sure to tell me in the comments. Take care and see you next time with a brand new video.